Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome into the Daily Score. I'm Mark Grote. I got 5 things for you on the Cubs game, the 5-0 shutout win over Colorado yesterday in the Wrigleyville opener. And you have to start with Shota Imanaga. 6 innings, did not allow a run on 2 hits, 9 strikeouts, 0 walks, 92 pitches, and 5 2/3 of it was no-hit ball. One thing that I was particularly impressed with Imanaga was early in the game. Second inning, he had a 13-pitch at-bat against Ryan McMahon. Typically those at-bats end up with the hitter winning. That usually that hitter will either walk or get a base hit, or more times than not. But he struck him out, which, like, if you don't strike the guy out in that situation, then you just threw 13 pitches. But then it was worthwhile. Pitch count never got out of control, even though that was a concerning spot right there. So that was great about Shota Imanaga. It was needed badly. Cubs needed a start like that for many reasons. Number one, we know Justin Steele is out for the next few starts at least. So you need somebody in that rotation to step up. Jordan Wicks didn't give you enough. He gave you 4 innings in his debut on Sunday. Kyle Hendricks didn't give you enough in his debut this year. He was hit hard on Saturday. Obviously means you've had to use a lot of your bullpen, and you're just not getting great starts at the moment, which I assume will improve as the season goes on. So as far as early season baseball is concerned, the Shota Imanaga performance was terrific. Couple other things on it. One warning about his performance, as good as it was, one thing that concerns me is that all of the outs, just about all of the outs, maybe all of them, the balls that were put in play, that is, minus the 9 strikeouts, they're fly balls, which you can get away with on a crappy day at Wrigley Field in April. And maybe there's some strategy to that. Maybe, Imanaga and Tommy Hotovy and Craig Counsell, when they huddle up to game plan for this thing, they're not as worried about Shota Imanaga as they will be in July or August at Wrigley Field when the wind is blowing out and he's going to need to keep the ball down. But, hey, he pitched to the climate, and I'm not going to complain about it. It's just something to consider as the season goes on. And that's his MO. He throws a lot of fly balls. So I want to see him. I want to make sure he's able to overcome that once that time comes. But I got no complaints with this guy. I mean, first ever start in the big leagues, and it was just excellent. Absolutely. One other thing, too, I wanted to point out from the game. Like I said, 5 2/3 no-hit ball from Shota Imanaga. And I find it amazing how many people are afraid to say there is a no-hitter going on. Like, it just, like, even the people that were covering the game, I'm like, is anybody going to say that there's a no-hitter going on here? I just think that, and a lot of it's from fans who, say that if you're jinxing yourself or you're jinxing them if you say anything. That, ladies and gentlemen, you ready for this? This is psychologist Mark Grote. If you are one of those people, I hate to say this about you because I like you. I think I like you, and you could overcome this. It's a little narcissistic, isn't it? I mean, maybe it's the height of narcissism, actually, that you think that you affect what's going on. That means you think you're God. So just think of it that way. Think of it that way when you come after me for – and I didn't get anything harsh, just a lot of you jinxed it and things like that because they did get a hit the next inning. But, yeah, we've got to – as a sports family, we have got to get over that. Or you're just going to go through life being a narcissist if you're afraid to say that there's a no-hitter going on. Consider that. Number 2, that was all just number 1. I got 4 more things here on the Cubs. Christopher Morell, 2 for 3 with a run. He had the little league inside the park home run. He scalds a ball to left field with 2 on runners on first and second base. It goes under the legs or under the glove. Nightmare for Nolan Jones, the left fielder for the Colorado Rockies. Then, to exacerbate it, he makes a terrible relay throw. Then the relay throw to the plate was god-awful. So while 3 runs scored, no RBIs for Christopher Morell, who crossed the plate. But that was big, and his bat continues to be bouncy. I'll just put it that way, the Super Bowl bat of Christopher Morell. Now, the concern is that Christopher Morell did have an error. He had a chance early in the game. It was a hard hit ball to him at third base, but absolutely a play that every major leaguer should make. this continues to be a concern. This was, from what I've been able to understand, a lot of this is Craig Counsell. Craig Counsell wanting that man to play on the dirt. And obviously it's not going to happen all the time. Didn't happen in the opener for the Cubs, but this is a concern. One thing that I think I trust, just because I think I trust that Craig Counsell is a pretty good manager, that if this continues to go poorly for Christopher Morell at third base, he'll stop putting him at third base. I don't think this is a year where you force development for, and I think Counsell has said as much. So I'm going to trust Craig Counsell that if this continues to get bad or be bad for Counsell or for Morell on the bases, that Counsell will take him out. But God, I get the conundrum, man. Like, Christopher Morell is ripe with the bat. He, like, every time he comes up, there is something there. You just don't even know. Like, he could hit 45 home runs this year, Christopher Morell, if he gets enough bats. And that's the plan for Craig Counsell, trying to get this man at bats no matter what, whether it's DH, whether it's playing third base, whether it's, occasional outfield or whatever the case is. But for the record, you had, at the end of the game, Craig Counsell has to go defensive replacement. Nick Madrigal comes in the game, which was good because he did make a nice play at third base. It might have been the last play of the game. Was it the last play of the game? But he made a nice play coming in at third base. But that's still something to consider. It's Craig Counsell's project. So far, he's done nothing for me to think that he should not be trusted. We'll see as time goes on. Chris Bryant, by the way, of the Colorado Rockies, this is number 3. On my 5 Cubs things. Chris Bryant was the one that hit that line drive that went off of Christopher Morell's glove for the error. But wow, Chris Bryant, another 0 for 4 in the game. He is 0 for 14 on the season, and it's just amazing the record of the ex-World Series Cubs, or that era of Cubs baseball, how they're doing. Where are they now? And for the most part, not good. Not good. I mean, just saw Javier Baez with Detroit playing against the White Sox, not looking great. Obviously, Chris Bryant has had his struggles. Anthony Rizzo's been up and down. Kyle Schwarber's had some moments for sure, but I think that to some degree, Jed Hoyer continues to look somewhat justified for breaking it up, even though he did want some of those guys to stay. So, man, KB. I'm thinking about going to see KB maybe this week, just to go see what's going on with him. Cody Bellinger, number 4. Number 4. Cody Bellinger had the biggest hit of the game. Cody Bellinger is back. 7th inning, 2 out, 2-run single, 5-0 Cubs. So opt out Cody Bellinger doing good things for himself. I'm like always like with the contract, I know everybody loved it. I'm not crazy about all the opt-outs because if he has a good year, he's gone, right? And I know people are, oh, the Cubs will develop. They'll have somebody that they'll be able to bring up. They'll be able to develop players, that'll come up, and you don't need Cody anymore, right? PCA will be ready. Will he? I don't know. So I'm not as crazy. I'm not into the groupthink of the Cody Bellinger contract right now. So Cody is number 4. Great big hit. That put the game away, even though it didn't feel like Colorado was interested in doing anything offensively on the day. Finally, number 5 on my Cubs list here. This is the Cubs in 10 minutes, man. I think I'm going to make it. Drew freaking Smiley. It appears like one of the early things with Craig Counsell, it appears that he likes Drew Smiley. You know what I mean? Like, you could just tell. He used him in a key spot earlier, and it didn't work out. But he used him in the 9th inning in this game. 2 perfect innings, including the 1, 2, 3, 9th inning, fly out, line out. He had the perfect 8th inning, so he's coming in a clutch spot. Not a save situation, but he was, hey, if you could find value in Drew Smiley and find good places for him, I'm all for that. And Craig Counsell so far is, you could tell it's in his brain from watching the Cubs from afar and knowing Drew Smiley. Did Counsell have Drew Smiley? He might have had him at one point in time. But anyway, you can just kind of tell, because we're going to figure that out about Craig Counsell. He's getting, it's obviously one of his early season projects is Christopher Morell, one of the early season guys that he seems to like more than maybe other guys did, even though Drew Smiley was a starter, is Drew Smiley. So that is something to keep an eye on. So there's 5 things on the Cubs. I'm looking forward to having a lot of broadcasts about baseball, Cubs and Sox, and see what's going down with them. The Cubs also overcame a crummy weather opening day, but that's another topic for another day. Baseball in April sucks. Hope everybody has a great day. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast today. For our friend Ray Diaz, who's screwing around in Wrigleyville right now. I am Ray. Wait, let's get to. Hey Ray, I don't even know if you can hear me, man.
It's a live
look.
look.
Look at that.
A live look. Did you hear? Like, so I'm at a bar in Wrigleyville right now, and it's insanity because, as you know, the scene in Wrigleyville after a Cubs win is crazy, and so it's the home opener. So I'm on the scene. I'm reporting live in Wrigleyville right now, and the scene is crazy. It's a party.
I am. Let me tell you something, Ray. I have always been a huge fan of Wrigleyville Ray. You know that.
I know that. I know that.
All right, brother. Right. Hey, go get drunk, man. Go have fun. Your workday is over, bro. That's Ray Diaz. Yes, Ray Diaz. I'm Mark Grote. Hope you guys have a great day. Hope you enjoy the Daily Score. Thank you. Bye.